Pro for 5 years now and has had 6 more fights, boxed more rounds. Kane with a slightly higher knockout percentage, but neither of them really power punches. They've both been scheduled to go 12 rounds 4 times. Dixon's done it 3 times, Kane once. More knockdowns scored by Kane, who's sharp and accurate.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fight of the night, the main event. Tommy Gilmore and Ringside Boxing Promotions proudly present 12 rounds of boxing for the Commonwealth and the vacant Scottish Welterweight Championship. Sponsored here by LNS LIFO, Commercial Printers of Glasgow. And a very warm welcome to our viewers here on Sky Sports. Live and exclusive, you've joined us for the very best ringside seat in the business. All the officials have been appointed by the Commonwealth Council, the British Boxing Board of Control, Scottish Area Council, steward in charge, Dr. David Sanderson. Timekeeper at the bell is Jim Russell, and referee in charge of the action, and one of the leading referees in the world today, Terry O'Connor of Birmingham. They are the officials, and here are the contestants. Firstly, and introducing to you, he's fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the red trunks trimmed with white and weighed in at 10 stone and 7 pounds. He brings to the ring an 18-fight record, 15 wins, 5 inside the scheduled distance and only 3 defeats. He's an Olympic representative and a Commonwealth gold medalist and the former IBO Intercontinental Welterweight champion from Clydebank, Charlie Kane. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the Superman trunks, blue, red, and gold. He weighed in at 10 stone and 6 pounds, bringing a 24-5 record, 20 wins, 3 inside the distance, 2 losses and 2 draws. He comes to the ring as the current Commonwealth Welterweight champion from Hamilton. Please welcome Super Scott. Well, sports fans and Sky fans, let's get the action underway then. 12 rounds of boxing for the Commonwealth and the vacant Scottish Welterweight Championship.
All set to go here, the first ever all-Scottish battle for the Commonwealth welterweight title in history.
Okay, shake hands, best of luck.
Terry O'Connor. Dixon, the 3rd Scottish holder of this title, after Gary Jacobs, and before him, a long time ago, Tommy Milligan, who went on to fight for the world middleweight title, losing in 7 rounds to the great Mickey Walker. And this is Tommy Milligan country around here. Dixon then defending the Commonwealth welterweight crown here, one of the improvers, only 23, in the blue trunks on the right of your picture, the red of the southpaw, the sharp southpaw, Charlie Kane, who's got plenty of skills, which brought him lots of success in the amateurs, including Commonwealth gold and a trip to the Olympic Games. Hasn't looked quite the same force as a professional, but who knows? Will he be fired up tonight? I don't think there'll be any more chances for him if he messes it up this time, Glenn.
Pretty sure Kane will want to be at his best this evening, fighting out the southpaw stance. He's very sharp, very knowledgeable. Johan Cannes give Dixon a lot of problems. He's starting pretty accurate, pretty sharp, Kane.
He's heard all the criticism. He's been stung by some of it as well, Kane. Dixon already looking as if he's just got a little bit of marking underneath the left eye too. It's been a good start this by Kane, but we've seen that before from him, and then somehow he seems to fall apart. Stopped by Ross Hale, Derek Roach and Darren Bruce, 2 for British titles, 1 an intercontinental title fight. It's quite a bad bruise already under the left eye for Dixon.
Yes, it is. He's quite good when he's confident, when he's on the front foot, when he fancies it, Charlie Kane. But Dixon has to get to him. has to start hurting him, and that's when it can be a different Charlie Kane.
Dixon has a modest stoppage record himself, but he says everybody he's fought, he's hurt. Kane making the running, though, early on here.
Well, it might take Dixon just a little while to get used to this style. Fighting out the southpaw stance might just take him a little bit to find his rhythm.
Has beaten the southpaw Chris Saunders, a former British champion, though, Dixon. And fought Michael Carruth, another southpaw, losing that, a very close one on points. So he seems to have coped with it in the past. But Kane might be presenting him with a few more problems. He's quite cagey and pretty knowing. Easily Kane's opening round so far.
Well, he's finding Dixon pretty easy to hit with that sharp left hand straight through the middle.
Dixon looking a little bemused, it has to be said, in this opening session, maybe surprisingly. Well, surprised by developments in that first round. It's early, Glenn.
Yeah, it's very, very early. You can expect Kane to try and start fast. He's going to be, full of it. He wants a win here. It's probably a last chance for him. But that was a good start. He got off early, got the center of the ring, and started very positively.
Second round, due to go 12. Dixon in the blue trunks, defending the crown. His first defence of this championship that he won in February down in East London at the York Hall. Does his work down in the Peacock Gym, where he's a personal fitness trainer and manager. Scott Dixon trains phenomenally hard. Just can't get in the fight at the moment, Dixon.
God, I think he's finding the sharp southpaw style a bit of a problem. He's a good, very good boxer, Charlie Kane, as his amateur pedigree will testify to.
Big support for both men here, because Clydebank, which is Charlie Kane's base in northwest Glasgow, it's not a million miles away, but definitely the bulk of support for Dixon. Just a question of how long it takes Dixon to work out Kane. I just wonder at times how much Kane himself really does believe in his own ability to make an impact as a pro.
Well, he started this fight like he has some belief, but really it's down to Dixon to get close to him, start getting in range where he can get his own punches on. At the moment, he's too far out of range where the fight suits Charlie Kane.
Kane very quick on his feet to move backwards out of range and make Dixon look a bit silly at times. He's having to reach, you see, with that jab, and he's not reaching far enough. It's just landing in thin air. Pretty well schooled is Kane, but is he a little bit fragile? Would be an incredible win, this, if Kane did do it, because he says he's lost count of the number of times that he's quit. Even gave away half his boxing gear last year.
Well, he does the same thing over and over again. He's pretty easy to read, Charlie Kane, but very difficult to do anything against. He's very upright, throws the jab and the straight left, and is pretty much forward and back. There's not a lot else. Very much an amateur style.
But it's a mystery at the moment for Scott Dixon.
Right, he's bending down. Right, he's bending. Right, He's avoiding the left. Right?
Barry Winter doing the talking in the Charlie Kane corner. They used to say that Charlie Kane preferred fishing to boxing.
I don't know anything about fishing, so I'm not really comment on that. He's doing a pretty good job at the boxing at the minute.
Yeah. He's won both the first 2 rounds, we reckon anyway. Challenging for the title tonight at the age of 31 in the red trunks, Kane. In this all-Scottish battle for the Commonwealth welterweight crown. Bit of a problem there with one of the advertising hoardings almost being pushed into the ring by the cameramen lined up with their lenses away to our left. Been quite a build-up to this fight. A lot of banter and verbal crossfire. Even saw a couple of schoolboys outside having a bet with a packet of Smarties about who was going to win.
Dixon did manage to get in close to Lando right there, but you can't get a solid effort going.
Usually the classic counter for the southpaw is to throw the right hands, but we've seen none of that from Dixon, who's becoming, I think, pretty frustrated.
Yes, it's very difficult to beat the southpaw to the jab. And you have to get close enough in, land the right hand, come back with a left hook if you can. The right hand, left hook are the punches which are normally most effective, but you have to get close enough to deliver them.
We're in the very arena where Gary Jacobs lost this title to the very useful Canadian Donovan Boucher a few years back. Right here in Motherwell. Heads looked as if they came a bit close together there. I don't think they actually clashed. Could have done. Did get there with a body punch that time, Dixon. Kane himself a little more tentative though in his work, although that left hand was right through the gap and flush into the face of Dixon.
Yes, and Dixon was lucky to hold after that punch landed.
Remember Kane putting Derek Roach on the floor in their British welterweight title back, and Kane was winning that until Roach took him apart in the 7th. You just wonder if there are a few demons, don't you, playing around in the mind of Charlie Kane, though.
Well, there could be, but I think it needs an opponent who can get close enough to him, start to rough him up, and then maybe Kane will not fancy it as much. But this sort of fighting suits him. He can do all his work at long range, tactical boxing, you know, picking his opponent off, and that's what he's doing here.
Still no sign of Dixon getting into it, really. And Charlie Kane, he did score one really good win. That was against Georgie Smith. And just having to work in the Dixon corner there on 1 or 2 little blotches and marks around the face. Martin Bowers and Paul Lawson, Peacock team in the corner.
There's a little nick just on the bridge of the nose for Dixon. So he's just picking up a few little marks. But it's really difficult for him to get in close. He needs to get into a position where he can land punches, and he's just not able to do that. There's the good punch. Sharp, straight left from Kane. Really well delivered, right through the guard, and that'll have been a hurtful shot.
Scott Dixon, who won his first trophy when he was only 7 years old. He really does love this business. Came through the Hastings and Sydney Street amateur boxing clubs in these parts. But he would really hate it, and it would hurt so much if he was to lose his Commonwealth welterweight title, hard-earned against a Scot in Scotland, just about down the road from his home.
Well, that would be very hard for him to take, but he needs to find something different. He needs to start exerting pressure, a little bit more lateral movement, and start letting the hooks come into play.
He's got to start solving the puzzle soon, Scott Dixon. So far it's proving embarrassing for him. It's all about styles, this, and Charlie Kane is starting to enjoy himself, pumping in a couple of southpaw jabs, whipping in the left hand, and then quickly on his feet so that Dixon is left lunging a lot of the time. He does get there with the right hand.
Well, he finally got through one right, Dixon, but he needs a lot more than that.
And it's interesting this because not many people fancied Kane to win this fight, and he still might not, because we're only in the fourth.
Well, it's still early, but really it's about Dixon getting into range where he can start getting his punches off. He's getting more and more frustrated, and in doing so he's getting tighter and tighter, not getting any punches off.
But can Kane keep this going for 12 rounds? Another rangy sort of left hand came from a long way back. Frankly, at the moment for Dixon, it's a boxing lesson.
Well, it really is, landing the southpaw jab and the straight left very well indeed, Kane.
The left hook does succeed for Dixon, but these are sporadic successes with single punches, and what he really needs to do is exert some telling pressure.
Well, the problem for Dixon is when he gets in range, he's tying Kane up, and really when he gets in range, that's when he needs to have his arms free, and that's when he needs to be working.
At the moment, Scott Dixon is finding this more difficult than the Times crossword.
Well, he really has to start getting busy, Dixon.
Football entertainers return to action for the Scottish Masters. 6-a-side, live and exclusive from Glasgow. That's Thursday evening, 7:30, Sky Sports 1. We're also in Scotland tonight here for the Commonwealth Welterweight title and potentially an upset.
Say that again, because Charlie Kane, Glenn and I reckon, has won the first 4 rounds here. He's in the red trunks, the challenger from Clydebank. Scott Dixon looking to hold on to this crown, but with a lot of work to do. This is where he needs the corner to give him some really good strategic advice. I mean, they've known what they were up against in this fight, but whatever they worked on, well, we're not seeing any signs of it in the ring.
Well, he's throwing too many single shots, Dixon, or trying to throw single shots. He needs to get in close and throw clusters of punches.
Only the referee, Terry O'Connor, will score from Birmingham. Kane just going on the run a little, giving himself a bit of time. A diffident character with a strange attitude to professional boxing at times. Witnessed those 18 fights in 9 years. Not many.
Yes, I think that makes you wonder how much he is in love with the game.
At times he's often looked laid back, almost fatalistic in his approach in there. But not so far tonight.
There's still a long way to go, and it's all about can he keep this level of concentration up, keep the boxing going.
I saw one quote from him on the build-up earlier on today saying he hopes he's done enough training for this fight. Well, he'd better hope so.
Well, that's normally not good enough just to hope. You've got to know you're ready when it's fights of this caliber.
If he hasn't done enough, he's going to find 12 rounds a very long journey indeed. Dixon again, single success with a left hook, but there's time for him.
Yes, I think the problem will be single punches will not be enough. He needs to put 2 or 3 together in the hope of really nailing Kane with a couple of shots.
One guy who can't lose tonight is Tommy Gilmore, who manages Charlie Kane and promotes Scott Dixon. Nice work if you can get it. Right hand to the body from Dixon. Kane's work rate just dropping off a little in that round.
Easy, Tiger. Here, have your pint back.
Get your own, you cheeky cow. And you lot can clear off and all.
To help your kids' school claim free sports equipment, get the Tetley on.
Well, it's not saying a lot, but maybe that 5th round was the best yet for Dixon. Fight total of jabs landed. The computer tells us 27 by Kane and 6 to Dixon. No further comment needed.
Well, Kane definitely dropped off the pace in the 5th, but I didn't think Dixon did much more than that. You know, he landed a couple of decent punches, but not a lot more. He needs a much bigger effort.
Round 6. Scott Dixon defending the Commonwealth welterweight title in the blue trunks. Charlie Kane's slick southpaw style, winning in the early rounds here. Can Dixon mount a rally, as indeed he needs to? He has to start putting some rounds in the bank, you'd think. Otherwise, this thing is in danger from drifting away from him completely.
Well, he's looking for the occasional body shot. Dixon needs to throw a few more, but needs to bring something behind that body shot.
Smart tactical fight so far from Charlie Kane, looking to defy his many critics.
But you just noticeably the pace of Charlie Kane just dropping a little bit, not as effective with his punches.
Good in and out range from Kane. A chance of Charlie from the Kane supporters here. Good crowd. Oh, it's a good right hand, oh, from Dixon, success at last. And has that turned the whole thing on his head with one blow? Maybe in the 60s, badly hurt. Kane just about got up, but he's all over the place. He's stopped. It all changed in an instant. And Scott Dixon in round 6 retains the Commonwealth welterweight title when he'd been losing round after round on the scorecards.
Well, what about that? That just shows you what boxing's all about. It just takes one punch to change everything around. And it was a right hand from Scott Dixon that did that. Charlie Kane just not able to get over that punch. It was a very good roundhouse right from Dixon, and that took everything out of Kane. He got up, but just didn't have it.
Talk about a case of deja vu for Charlie Kane. It's happened before with him in major fights where he's just fallen apart.
Well, it's very hard when you're a you're just the boxer, when you're just you're the stylist to keep it going round after round. And that was always the problem for Charlie Kane, and really it was just one punch that did it.
There has to be a little question mark about Charlie Kane's punch resistance, because that is only the 4th knockout that Scott Dixon has recorded in his career in 25 fights.
Well, yeah, yes, that question mark's always been there. There it was, just a roundhouse right, really caught him right on the chin. There, he gets a lot into it. He didn't really lean into that punch.
Well, I should think there's an overwhelming relief for Scott Dixon, because he was beginning to look down the barrel, wasn't he, styles-wise there?
Well, he was finding it very, very difficult. There's where the referee let it go on for a second, but when he saw that Kane just sort of didn't have his footwork, couldn't find his feet, he rightly jumped in very wisely.
Yeah, very good stoppage by Terry O'Connor. And Scott Dixon wins again and holds on to the Commonwealth welterweight title. He also wins the vacant Scottish Championship, which will mean plenty to him, believe me.
Ladies and gentlemen, timekeeper Jim Russell has recorded a time of 1 minute 50 of round 6. Referee Terry O'Connor has stopped the contest. Your winner, he's still the Commonwealth, but he's the new Scottish welterweight champion from Hamilton, Super Scott Dixon.